All right. I believe Orange Clemson Sports Network. Welcome to our 7:30 Tuesday podcast with Rowdy Tiger and with Jacob McDonald. Got a lot to talk about. It's March. It's March Madness. There's a lot of stuff going on here in March. Just a couple of things before we get started. I want to mention a sponsor, and Jacob actually set me up with these people. Condustrial Incorporated. Their corporate office is at 110 William Street, and that's in Greenville, South Carolina. They're an employment agency for contractors, industrial, mechanical, travelers, medical, all kinds of stuff. www.condustrial.com. Look them up. Their phone number is 864-235-3619. Two guys on it, Tony and Tom. One's a Clemson fan, and one is a Carolina fan. And we had a great meeting with them. I'm excited about them. They're going up on the website tonight. We've already started putting them in articles. And so they're going to do the Clemson Carolina game. So it'd be pretty cool to have, somebody from each team on the show. So a lot going on. They don't call it March Madness for nothing. I watched the Wofford about a mile and a half from where I live. And Furman, usually don't get excited about Wofford Furman. It was a really good game last night. And Wofford actually 15 wins or something. They barely had a 500 record, but they are now in the big dance because they beat Furman last night. We had it was on the ACC channel right now. We had Pittsburgh, Notre Dame. Good game. Went down to the last shot. We had Virginia Tech and California went into double overtime. And California defeated Virginia Tech in double overtime, 82-73. So Clemson's kind of sitting back there waiting on a double bye, number 3 seed. It's kind of nice. We don't always had that in the past. I went for a walk, and they all know me as the Clemson guy. Everybody's asking me about Clemson. I ran across 3 people outside, and they were talking about the basketball team and how we may have a chance to go all the way. This could be a late game, 9:30, ESPN 2, Thursday night. And right around Greenville today, I was listening to Roar. Clemson has gone up to number 2 in recruiting. USC, which is really weird. USC, California, is number 1. Oregon, number 3. We're number 2. But the way they're talking, I think we had 4 come on the last 2 days. The way they're talking, we should end number 1 in recruiting, which is strong. So everything's coming together.
I saw a great video today, and it was showing, oh my gosh, and his name just went right out my head, the offensive line coach.
Matt Luke.
And he was, kind of grilling the guy saying, like, you want to win another title, it starts here today, like how you work today. And it was really, really good, inspirational video. And then, like, they started walking in, some of the guys were walking into the weight room, and they were like, we're going to follow what Ben Boulware used to do and work out the way he used to work out. And I was like, man, I like this. So they got the right mentality going in right now. So that's good.
Yeah. He just met today with a 4-star Texas guy, Jaden Crimpton, and Beast. He's got, I think, another visit to LSU and maybe Alabama. But the way it sounded like that he's probably going to sign on Clemson. So we hit the top 10 in basketball. I'm laughing because I was looking at a statistic about an hour ago, and they got a 50% chance of making the ACC championship. They got Duke a lot higher than that, but then again, they got us 12% of winning the ACC championship. And if I remember correctly, about a month ago, we beat Duke. So I think we got a better than a 12% chance.
We're going to be Duke again. Finally shut them up.
I find it funny that, we were like 13, 11, whatever. We finish out the entire season with, straight wins, and we can just get 10.
Yeah, it's just like a snail. We've barely been moving up.
I mean, Alabama beats Auburn. I mean,
Duke's
Auburn drops to 3 after that. Like, come on.
Duke's number 1, so that's cool. Better for
And that's
us.
the thing. Like Duke, we beat Duke,
We
and
beat
yet
Duke.
we're barely tip into the top 10. Like, it's ridiculous.
No one's given us a chance in the ACC to beat Duke
That's
again.
that disrespect. We just run off of it.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I was highly rooting for UNC to win the other night, and UNC kind of like had their chance.
We had left and gone back there
and blew it. But I mean, not gonna lie, Duke does look strong. Like, they look good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can see why everybody would favor them. But I think with us going into the game, we're gonna have confidence because we've done it. We can do it again.
Yeah.
And I know it's always hard to beat a team twice in a season. So
we're gonna do it, man. I feel it. We should have
on game day that day. They were saying, they were talking about Clemson, and they were like, going to the Elite Eight. Can they tip into the Final Four? And one of the guys was saying, I believe they can make it to the Final Four this year.
I think so.
So,
I mean, we beat Duke. Duke's number one. So, I mean, hopefully we have a good turnout of fans. I mean, it's just up in Charlotte. It's just Duke's got just as far as drive. It's a 9:30 game. ESPN 2.
I feel like we kind of got like the bad end of the stick of that. Like, come on, 9:30 game on a Thursday night.
Yeah, I like night game. At least it ain't. I remember watching Clemson at noon and stuff play because we never did get a good seed in the ACC tournament. You have to stop somewhere, go to Applebee's or something during lunch because you're out running around working or something.
Yeah, but we if we win Thursday night, we got to play again Friday. But I think it's like a mid-afternoon kind of game.
Yeah, that's all three back to back. We win 3 times. We win. We play Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday because then they're picking March Madness on Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean the SoCon tournament, they've already finished. Some of these people have already finished. All right, we got Florida State. Somebody coming on here in a second. Look at the bracket real quick. Duke's up on the other. We're number 3 seed. Louisville is 2. Duke's 1. And if I'm not mistaken, Wake Forest is 4. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're 4. And then we're the 3 seed.
All right, so you got any stats?
Yeah, so here's the stats from the Virginia Tech game. Field goal, we were 27 of 61 for 44.3%. 3-point, another terrible 3-point game. We were 3 of 20 for 15%.
That's not too good.
So rebounds.
But I like that they kind of stopped trying to go after the threes when they realized, like, okay, we're not getting these threes, and they started kind of playing.
Yeah, and they fixed it. At halftime.
Well, we're still going for them. They're just not following. And
yeah.
finally, we can use our big bodies in the paint. That's our strength, is in the paint. But Steph Curry's developed the game, and we keep trying to chuck threes. Free throw, we were 8 of 13 for 61%. Rebounds, we were 38 to their 30. We had 11 assists. Steals, defense. Josh, you said it on Facebook. That's probably our best part of our team. We're just, we don't get enough credit on the defense end. We had 15 steals, 3 blocks, and then we forced 23 turnovers. They had 23 turnovers, and then we had 25 points off of those turnovers. That was a big part of the game right there.
There were a couple like really good steals in that Virginia Tech game. It was just like straight out just stole the ball.
Yeah.
And then our largest lead was 19. Seems to be a common theme here, and we're playing these, worser teams. Brad Burnell is a changed man.
He is.
Yeah, I like it. I think, he got that taste of going to the Elite Eight last year, and I think it kind of woke him up a little bit.
Yeah, raise the bar. So it
come out with a great strategy now.
You just won the ACC championship. It'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, well, I was really hoping to get that season. Even though it would have been a co-season champion, but
first half UNC hung with the first half, and then Duke just pulled away.
Yeah, would have been nice to have, but
UNC's got some rebuilding to do. We'll see if depending on what they do in the ACC championship, they may get into the big dance. But
yeah,
if they do okay, make a good little run here,
they're gonna have to make like the semis if they want to.
Yeah, they got to. And if they do that, they get in. It'd be Clemson, Duke, UNC, and Wake Forest, right?
Who's it look like we're going to end up playing?
Yeah, let me go look at it. Hold on a second. I took a screenshot of it.
That's the only thing I have not been able to see.
Okay, Florida State.
They're playing Syracuse right now.
Syracuse, okay. And whoever wins that plays Stanford. So, yeah, you got Florida State and Syracuse. So whoever wins this game plays Stanford, and whoever wins against Stanford plays us.
Okay.
And Duke's way up in the other bracket, and so is North Carolina's in the other bracket. We won't play them.
I mean, that's the good news is we don't have to face Duke at an early stage. And my prediction is that it'll end up being us and Duke at the end.
Now, we probably, if we win a first round, it looks like Louisville we'll end up playing Louisville in the semis.
Yeah, we get revenge on them.
Yes, let's get the revenge.
Let's get the revenge. So I'm seeing Louisville advancing past. Let's see. Stanford. Has Stanford played yet? No. They play it
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Stanford's playing. It'd be Stanford, California. Whoever wins that game plays Louisville. Louisville will probably win that game. Got two California teams. Imagine that playing in an ACC tournament tomorrow at 7.
And then we'll get the winner of Florida State and Syracuse tonight.
Yeah. So one of those teams will play Louisville. Louisville will probably win. We'll probably win, and then we'll play Louisville in the semis. And I predict it'd be us and Duke. I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Us and Duke again. That's the way it should be.
You got Duke sitting high on that number 1 seed coming in. I think we just come in and shatter their dreams again, beat them again.
Let's do it.
I mean, the one thing I'm hoping for is that Duke kind of comes in on a high horse, like, we've got this. We don't even worry. Let's go ahead and start focusing on, the March tournament and just kind of like, whatever. And we catch them sleeping again.
Yeah.
Hopefully Cooper Flagg will slip again. You never know.
Cooper Flagg. God, he's just stuck at coming, isn't he? He's a freshman too.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's good. He didn't have a good game against Clemson, but he's good.
He's good, but he's not Chase Hunter, right, Josh?
Not Chase Hunter.
He's not Chase Hunter.
And we got the Victor, the Loch Ness Monster, baby.
Shout out,
I love
Chase.
that. I love that nickname.
ACC first team.
Dabo comes up with some of the greatest things. Man, we put him on the cuff. He can just come.
Dude, he is like he's the greatest.
I mean, he just comes up with
stuff. You could literally take Dabo from football and put him over in basketball, and probably take the team to whatever. And then you could probably take him right out of basketball and go put him over on the baseball team. And the guy is just a great guy all around.
He originally wanted to play basketball. That was his deal. I hear he's pretty good at basketball.
He did build a basketball gym in his house.
Well, you got the money, you can do it. You got a bowling alley in there too, I think.
I think that's at the training center, is it not?
What?
The bowling alley. Is that not at the
He's got a movie theater in his house.
Was it the Reeves whatever center?
Yeah, they got a bowling alley there. Keep talking. I got to share something real quick.
But baseball is still up, bottom 5th. Liberty versus Clemson, 6-1 in that game. If you got ACC Extra, you can watch that, live stream that. Baseball, man. I mean, we are looking really, really good in baseball right now.
Number 5, 13 in a row. Looks like we're going to 14.
Yeah, I mean, we're just looking really, really good right now in baseball. Actually, it has us number 10 in the D1baseball.com poll. I don't have another poll, but it does showing us number 10 in baseball at 15-1.
What's the date on that? I got number 5.
It's on the ESPN app is what I'm looking at.
TigerNet had them at 5 today.
Maybe that's ACC?
Huh?
Is that ACC rankings?
Baseball.
Yeah, I'm looking at the NCAA baseball. Go to rankings, and it's showing us number 10.
Dated recently. Got a date on it?
It does not show a date, but that's just what it has there.
Okay, well, I saw number 5 on TigerNet,
but is that ACC?
Well, I'm trying to do 2 things at once on the internet. Because I wrote it down.
Or are you looking at baseball? Maybe
I thought we were 8 last week and moved up. Hold on a second. I need like 3 phones.
Yeah, I'm seeing 10 too right now.
You seeing 10? Okay. Well, I could stand corrected. Maybe they're 5 in ACC, but that would be higher than that, wouldn't we?
I mean, the only thing that is sad is that our softball team is not ranked in the top 25 right now.
Yeah.
We're just outside the top 25, but we're not in it. But baseball, I've got 10.
Yeah.
Well, baseball, we just find a way. I mean, we killed. Who did we play over the weekend? Why am I going? Mine's going blank.
Davidson.
It was like 13-2 on Saturday, and then we're down like 4-0 in 6th inning.
Yeah,
Sunday came back and won that. But no, we'll be fine in baseball. Got a ways to go.
I mean, nothing was better than sweeping the Gamecocks.
Oh yeah.
And then you got the Savannah Bananas game that's going to be played in Death Valley, which that is exciting.
They gonna win that? Doesn't count.
It don't count, but we're Clemson's setting a record with the largest attendance at a Savannah Bananas game.
81,000 at a baseball game. That's crazy. Well, I mean, they sold out like freaking 24 hours because Mike was trying to.
I know, and
Mike
so I got a buddy of mine that bought tickets, but he has no clue where his tickets are. Like,
really?
There's no announcement on the tickets. He doesn't even get the tickets until like the day before the game.
Who's this?
So it's like you can't even like buy them online right now from like say a scalper or somebody that's saying, "Hey, something came up, I can't go." They don't get the tickets until the day before. Is what my buddy was telling me.
You don't get them. What do you mean you don't get them?
Like they're not sending people the tickets at bottom until like the day before the game.
It's all done on your phone. I mean,
right, but they're not releasing you the ticket. So everybody who bought tickets are not. Now this is coming from a friend of mine who bought tickets, and he said that he doesn't even know where he's sitting. He won't know until he gets his tickets, and he says that they won't release the tickets until the day before the game.
So they tell you where you're sitting.
Right.
Like what is 50-yard line? Is that like
well the baseball the field itself
lost him.
Is so home plate will be angled towards the old entrance of the home locker room.
Right.
So it's going to be down on the west end zone, coming out of that old locker room entrance because now they come out the middle of the west end zone.
So you're gonna be hitting the ball toward the hill.
You'll be hitting the ball towards the hill, and the foul lines will be kind of like, Yeah. So you'll have a long right field.
I don't know where Jacob went. He'll come back, I guess.
He might have had an internet crash of some sorts, but the show must go on. But so I think that's going to be crazy insane with 80-something thousand for a Savannah Bananas game, setting a record.
I mean,
first time being played in a stadium,
it's like Yankee Stadium. I mean,
first time in a college football stadium, first time in a football stadium, first time largest attendance. Like so many records are kind of being broken with the Savannah Bananas thing right now, which I just think is awesome that Clemson's being the first ones to do that. So
let me text him real quick.
But can't wait for the game Thursday night. Baseball, like I said.
Oh yeah, I love March Madness. I watch, I watch every Clemson game. But be honest with you, now football season's different. I watch any football game, but I watch the Clemson game. I usually don't hang around and watch all the basketball games. But once March Madness happens, I watch every freaking game.
Yeah,
it's just exciting, and it's exciting to see Walford. I mean, Walford here in Spartanburg because they made a run. I think they made the Sweet 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so about 10 years ago. So it's a chance anybody can make a run. They don't call it March Madness for nothing. Can't wait for Thursday night. And I hadn't seen Clemson play on a night starting out in a while because we always had that noon game or that 2:00 game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I texted him. Where'd he go? I don't know if that's on your end or his end, but
no. I like I said, I think his there he comes.
Oh, here he comes. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, my bad. We had
change shirts or something. You change rooms?
it just completely went black. I don't. It just
Oh,
kicked
okay.
me out of it.
Thought you were-
Yeah, I think sometimes if you have like my Wi-Fi, sometimes will just shut down on me and lock me right out. So
Yeah, that was something.
but hey, I'm excited. There's a lot of good things going on with Clemson sports. I mean, look, we're ranked number 2 in the recruiting class now. Basketball on the verge of something great.
Everything's
Baseball is
coming
on the
together.
verge of something great. I wish our softball team was back in there. I don't know what's going on there. I know we lost that superstar that we had. I think she finally graduated, but
Well, you remember we're at the ACC
what was her name?
championship,
Kegel,
right?
I think is her name, right?
Huh?
I was talking about the superstar we had on softball, Kegel, I believe.
Yeah.
Kegel. She was so good. Oh my gosh, she was so good.
Maddie, is it Maddie?
I can't remember her first name. I want to say her name was like Kegel. I can never say it right.
Yeah.
And
a lot
I
of
just
fun to watch,
remember
actually.
she was just so good, and she was really what kind of got our team so motivated and going and games and whatnot. So
yeah,
but many good things is happening right now in Clemson sports that can any other college right now say that they've got basketball, baseball, football,
tennis,
softball? Soccer,
gymnastics.
our gymnastics. Yeah, I don't know of any other college out there that has so many sports with good teams right now.
Well, I ran across a Georgia fan. We're talking basketball, and I don't. Is Georgia even going into the big dance this year? Let's say make a run. This
not basketball.
So, and it's falling back in football, but still, I mean, we've got it going on all 3 of the major sports and some of the other sports. Rob, we were at the ACC championship, and of course, when SMU scored that last touchdown, I'm not a negative person. I'm one of the most optimistic people there is, but I'm just saying, oh God, we're going into overtime. I wasn't even thinking about, winning it because there's 16 seconds left. And the question I had before that game was like, Mop is going to be gone. Who's a running back going to be? And then Adam Randall made that run, and then all of a sudden Dabo announced on a press conference, Adam Randall, that was like one of the missing pieces. And then we got the defensive coordinator, and then now we're up in recruiting. Moving up fast. Like I said, we should pass USC California. But the same thing, everybody, they're on the roar and all, they're talking about, man, they go to this college, they go to that college and say, man, I can't explain it. Once my feet hit the campus, and Ben Hall said that. He said, there's something in those hills. Once I hit the campus, there's an atmosphere, there's a family environment there that you don't feel at some of the other colleges. So if you can get them to step on campus, they're good. Instead of like going and sitting at their kitchen table. We after the basketball game, we went down to the SO Club and we went down to the Death Valley. God, I wish I knew the guy's name. His dad had flown him. He's a safety. And we're just taking pictures down there. It's like 11 o'clock at night. And he had just gotten out of Dabo. They just had a meeting with Dabo a couple hours before that. And he said, man, came down from Ohio. He had been to a couple other places. I think he said Georgia and all. And they're fixing to fly back out. And I was talking to him and his dad. And I wish I could remember his name. I wrote it down. But he said, I'm probably going to Clemson after this visit.
Yeah.
It just happened to be there, by the hill. We're taking a picture of the Jumbotron, and Phil was lit up, and I was just telling him some stories about Clemson and the rock and how it got stolen and some of the history of it. But his dad, he said, we live about 5 miles from Ohio State University. He says, my son wants to play at Clemson.
Yeah. Well, I'll never forget the recruiting on Travis Etienne. Like what they did to short time. I think there was 2 weeks, 3 weeks before signing day.
Yeah.
And we had a decommitment in the running back department, which was supposed to be this 4-star greatest running back. I don't even remember who it was because Etienne came on board. And literally Etienne was just down the street from LSU. Always wanted to play for LSU.
Yeah. Well, they gave him a bunch
of. Go in and get this kid and offer him, and he accepts. And then one of the greatest running backs to ever play at Clemson.
Oh, he is the greatest, in my opinion.
Yeah, all-time leading rusher.
Yeah.
statistically wise, I don't know who's going to.
You know, when I say one of the greatest, I mean, I mean, CJ.
Well, there are some greatest, but I mean, if you look at yards, he's way ahead of it. But I remember going to the first game. It was a Troy game, I believe. It was a Troy game, first game of the season. And I for whatever reason, I wasn't following recruiting that much that year. But anyways, they gave the ball. First time he touched the ball, he ran like 60 yards. ETN. And I'm thinking ETN. I said, that's an interesting name. That dude can fly. But there was something about ETN. You know, the time he got the ball and hit the front line, it was like he was shot out of a cannon. I've never seen somebody pick up speed like that.
I mean, like I said, I don't even remember the guy that decommitted because I was like, I can't believe we just lost this commitment. And then when they announced it that Travis Etienne committed, and I was like, who? And then like, oh my God, when he bursted on the scene, it was like I forgot who that other guy's name was. And I don't even know if that guy even did anything. I don't even think he ever became anything. So we dodged a huge bullet on that.
Yeah.
I'm glad he decommitted. But
yeah,
you know,
his brother went down there and played for Georgia.
And I
get it.
I give his brother a lot of respect. You know, he wanted to follow his own footsteps, did not want to be in the shadow of his brother. And I completely 100% agree with that. But then I go back and I look at his career and it's like, okay, well, he sputtered at Florida, goes to Georgia, gets in trouble with the law. Then he, you know, plays, he's off and on playing. He made some big plays at times, but he's not his brother.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was he a senior last year?
No, his first year at Florida, second year at Georgia, so he's on his third year.
Okay.
So he should be back there this year.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's not ETN at all. He was sharing reps with that freshman who was running all over us, Nate Frazier.
Yep.
Yeah. What's the guy's name? Georgia quarterback, Gunner
Stockton.
I always love somebody with the last name Frazier, especially when they get tackled. It's like, down goes Frazier. That old boxing. What was that? Was that with Muhammad Ali? Like
the Thriller in Manila. I mean, we talked about it. Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, it was Muhammad Ali and Frazier fighting, and Muhammad Ali like knocked him out or something. And
the reason I respect Muhammad Ali,
Frazier.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali and Deion Sanders, they ran their mouth more than anybody, but they backed it up. And if you run your mouth, you back it up, you get respect. I've always said, ask the question. I know we're getting off football and all. Doesn't matter. We're talking sports. It all kind of rolls in together. But always ask the question, if you have Muhammad Ali in his prime and Mike Tyson in his prime, who'd win? And 95% of people said Muhammad Ali. Because he was a smarter boxer.
I will say this. I cannot stand Deion Sanders. I am not a fan of his. Have never been a fan of Deion Sanders. And seeing now how he's wanting to treat his son, basically telling his son which team he's going to go to, telling the NFL which team he's going to go to. Like, you know what? Look at what's going on with LeBron James and his son right now. I mean, huge blow up between LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith on the court over his son because, according to LeBron James, you can't talk about his son as a media person. So, and everybody's got the same consensus that his son is not doing very well in the NBA. Now, granted, he's a rookie. You know, some rookies blow up, some rookies don't have a good rookie season, but they develop and they get better. And that's possible for Bronny, but for LeBron James to come out there and kind of dictate, you know, you can't talk about my son, you can't do this. I mean, that's the same thing that Deion Sanders is doing. And in my opinion, you're hurting their careers. Because nobody, if I was an owner of a team, I wouldn't want them. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want to take Bronny because
now, give me up
dad. I don't want to take.
His son playing right now?
Who? He's on the Lakers.
Yeah,
same team. They're both on the Lakers.
He basically forced the Lakers to draft.
They're on the same team right now.
Yes.
Yeah. And I apologize. I'm just flat out honest. I don't follow.
Again, I'm not a big NBA fan. I do not watch NBA. I barely watch NBA. But this is like a huge story that came out, and I watched Stephen A's apology.
LeBron's son's playing. They're both playing for the Lakers. LeBron's been around. How old is LeBron?
LeBron is 40.
He's trying. I think he wants to play this year with his son, and then he's going to retire. I think that was what the plan is. But my point is he forced the Lakers to take him because he pretty much said, whoever takes my son,
Yeah.
I'm going there to play with him for a year. So he was going to leave the Lakers to go wherever took his son.
What would be
and
weird,
the
though?
Lakers basically was forced to take his son to keep
What would
him.
be weird, though, is if he was playing for another team and dad was playing the son against each other. It'd be kind of strange. I've seen brothers play against each other, not a dad.
Right. And I think that I don't think there's ever been a time where a father and a son played on the same team in the NBA. And I think that's the point.
Yeah.
And why LeBron James did what he did, which
Well,
I don't
probably
blame
never
him
happened
for.
in
But at
football.
the same time, you're now putting this black mark on your son's career because you're trying to dictate everything.
How
Just
good
like
is this
Deion
guy?
Sanders is trying to dictate everything
Done
about
pretty
where his
good.
motor's going to go.
He's not a bad player, but he's not NBA.
He's not LeBron. And that's the whole thing.
I have yet to
There's
see.
only one LeBron.
Dude,
Yeah, I have yet to see.
I'll watch the Daytona 500 because the Daytona 500. But
Yeah.
I mean, and this is probably back his time. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was the GOAT, and then you had Richard Petty, and it was fun to watch back then. And then he died. He got in that wreck and he died. So I was like, okay, well, son came in there, and it's kind of like your dad's Elvis, and you try to follow Elvis, and your dad's Dale Earnhardt, and you're Dale Earnhardt Jr. It's hard to live up to that. It kind of, it puts a lot of pressure. Imagine being Muhammad Ali and then you're Muhammad Ali's son and you go try to do what he does.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
I agree. And that's what I was saying. Like, I just, look at Dale Curry.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't force his son to do a lot of things. He let Stephen Curry go do his own thing.
Yeah.
And, Dale Curry, he retired. Now, they didn't play together, but still.
Right.
Like, I'm just kind of using him as a reference. Like, I've seen a lot of NBA players and their sons make it to the NBA. And look at Steph Curry. He had his own dream. He went and played, Golden State. I wish he would have came to Charlotte, but I get it. That's where his father played. Maybe he didn't ever want that, and that's fine. But I just hate that, like, LeBron and Deion, they're basically dictating where their sons are going to go and what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. And I just like, come on. Let them do their own thing.
I used to not like Stephen A. Over the years, I've kind of he hates the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm a Cowboys fan. And it kind of reminds me of how the Gamecocks act when against Clemson. You remember when we were playing LSU and we were playing Alabama, we killed them, and they were doing picks, and he was Alabama, saying like 10 times, Alabama. Well, we went in there and we ate their lunch, man.
Yeah.
And sent them home between the legs. And I respected him after that because he came to game day as the following year. And they're all, Dabo has them all in there in the, it's like a little conference room, like a, little like movie theater thing. They're all sitting there. And he all of a sudden walks in there. I saw this, man. I started respecting him then. And he says, I'm here to apologize. He says, I took y'all for granted. I did. And
you notice who didn't show up? You know who didn't show up to that show?
Who?
Feinbaum.
Don't even get me started on him.
Paul Feinbaum was supposed to go to Clemson for that show that Stephen A. came to Clemson's campus.
Well, Feinbaum
Stephen A. I said that if you guys win, I would come to the show and I would apologize on TV that I didn't think you guys were going to win.
Yeah, he never did.
He showed up. He honored his deal. And ever since then, I've liked Stephen A. for doing that. But Paul Feinbaum would not go. He even said it on the show. He said he was my counterpart.
I don't understand.
Did not want to come to the show.
Well, I don't get it. He's in the sport. He does what we do. I mean, I don't see he got where he never played football. He's not very entertaining. He's basically biased with Alabama. I mean, he didn't even go to Alabama, did he? I think he went to Tennessee.
I don't know. I don't
know, but he definitely
every time he opens his mouth, it just makes me want to put something in it.
Like he got them big ears.
He's nothing but a blowhard.
Huh?
He has no respect for
side top sitting on his head.
I mean, he's
like I said, he has no respect for Clemson. Even after winning 2 national titles,
I don't know how he even got his own show, but people watch it. If I'm flicking around and I see his show, I'll turn it. I won't watch him.
But by the way, I got a great joke for you, though.
All right, we need one.
Referencing to the Alabama game. What size hole do you dig to bury an elephant? 44 by 16. I know it's a dad joke, but still, ever since I heard that and saw that, I couldn't stop laughing.
I got a Gamecock joke. Did you hear about the Gamecock that broke his leg last fall raking leaves? Fell out of a tree. I've got a bunch more, but it's not a joke.
Yeah.
But anyhow.
But no, like, going back to it is look at Dabo. Like he didn't force his kids to play. They played because they wanted to.
Yeah.
He gave them playing time when they had the opportunity. Now they're kind of out. I think all of them are gone now, right? They're all out, right?
Just Clay. Clay is the junior.
Okay, so he's still on the team, though,
there.
right?
Yeah, he's just a holder.
Okay.
But he's not forcing them to do anything. They're there because they want to be there.
Right. Well, that's the main thing. We're talking to that guy's dad. The dad said, we've been to the colleges, and he says, one thing about Dabo, he says, yeah, he cares about football, but he cares about the man first. And, you talk about Clemson having the highest graduation, puts God, family, and all that first. I mean, look at Georgia. Yeah, they've had a lot of success in football, but you look at their graduation rate. And then, last year, there about every week during the summer, somebody was going to jail. And and somehow they're getting bailed out like $38. But, it's just a better place to play, a whole overall environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus, it's a college town, and that's what they always say. You just can't explain it. Something in the hills, something about the family atmosphere. I feel the same way when I go to downtown Clemson. And nothing to say anything bad about Carolina, but you got a big city there. I'm not a big fan of Columbia. It has nothing to do with the Gamecocks. It's hot. I don't like Columbia. I never liked Columbia. But you kind of get lost in the city. Athens, football city. If it wasn't for Clemson University, it'd just be a farm town. Be a little old town, southern old town. Clemson.
The only thing I like going to Columbia for is their zoo.
Go see the gorillas and the tigers. Yeah. What else we got going on? A lot going on.
Update on the baseball game. It is bottom of the 7th. Clemson's still up 6-2 over Liberty.
So
we got the best player in the country in Camarella.
Bottom of what? Yeah, Camarella's a beast.
That guy's great.
He's better than Beer was. Remember Seth Beer?
Yeah.
He definitely got it.
I have a jersey with his name on it.
Do you? And he was good.
It's funny. Every time I go to like another city, I always try to go to a baseball game when I'm there, and I always wear my Beer Clemson jersey. And I'll be walking around and everybody be like, "Oh, dude, that jersey's so awesome!" And I'm like, "Do you not realize that this is actually a guy's real last name?"
That's actually the guy's name. Yeah.
I get so many people complimenting me, thinking, "Oh man, your jersey's so awesome! I love that with the name Beer." And I'm like, "Yeah, because it's Seth Beer."
The name Beer.
That's cool.
But every game I go to. I was sitting in right field at the Boston Red Sox game when they had the worst loss in program history, worst loss in Fenway Park, and I'm sitting there wearing a Clemson bright orange jersey. I was told by all my Boston friends that I am not allowed to go to a Boston Red Sox game.
Mike.
I've literally been banned from going to a Boston Red Sox game because of that.
Yeah.
I was like, I have nothing to do with it. Your boys that did that, not me.
Yeah. You play baseball growing up?
Yeah.
You playing baseball? I played some fast pitch. I didn't play high school or anything like that. But I do remember going to a Braves game and getting batter cage. And, it's amazing, man, that you can even hit a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's amazing.
I never made it that far, but I was a catcher, so little league and up. And I played a little bit of high school, but I kind of focused more on playing football in high school than I did baseball.
When that ball's going 95 miles an hour, you're with 90 feet from it. It's traveling pretty daggone fast.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
There's nothing better than a home run, man. You ever hit a home run? There's nothing better feeling when you hit the ball and it goes over. But yeah.
I have a kid that's on my son's team that I'm head coach of, and our first practice, I was like, oh my gosh, this kid is like levels above everybody. Like I'm going to see this kid in the major leagues as good as he is right now. Like it is unbelievable how good he is.
And your son?
No, this kid that I have on my team.
For
my son's little league baseball team.
Well, I'm a football guy.
He just moved here. He just moved here from Venezuela, and apparently he got selected by the Venezuelan Little League World Series team before he moved, and then he moved here, and it was like, he just came to our league, and he came on my team, and I'm like, oh my God, this kid is amazing. It's like literally watching a college player play at the age of 10.
Yeah.
Like, that's how good he is. I mean, he's a very strong hitter, unbelievable catcher. You can put him anywhere on the field. Like, I'm just like, wow, this kid is amazing.
Remember Cal Parker?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a couple of players that have played baseball and football for Clemson. But from a financial, economic standpoint, from a business standpoint, I'm a football guy. But if you're like a Cal Parker or something, had a chance to play both, more so in baseball, you're better off going into baseball. Average football career is like 4 to 5, 6 years at most. Get injured. Baseball, you get paid a ton of money. You play a lot longer. Injuries you just don't take you out of baseball. You play a lot longer. But personally, I enjoy football more. That's what I live for.
Oh yeah. I mean, I
wish we had 8-month seasons.
My favorite two sports is football and baseball, and football has always been my favorite sport, but I enjoy watching that just so much more, and I played it a lot more.
I love to play golf. I mean, you're really good at golf, but I don't watch a lot of golf. Now I will watch the Masters, and that's coming up.
I mean, I enjoy watching the golf. I know that the ladies golf team was really, really good last year. I'm hoping they have a good year this year. I'm hoping the men's team has a good year this year. One of my good friends is actually in this baseball league with me. He actually was on the golf team in college.
Oh, really?
Clemson. He was on the Clemson's golf team.
My stepbrother's
Luke Ferguson.
My stepbrother's son will be a professional golf player. They've raised him. I mean, that's all. He doesn't have to work no more. I think I told you the story about him. They got the West End Zone named after them. They got more money than they know what to do with it. He just basically rides around, takes his son to golf tournaments. And he's Will's about 14. He's been written up in the paper, but he'll probably be a professional golfer.
Yeah.
But when is Masters? That's first week in April, isn't it? April, the Masters.
It's in April. I don't know exactly the date, but it's.
We've had a couple guys from Clemson playing the Masters.
Yeah. There's a guy in the PGA Tour now that's from Clemson.
Yeah. Trying to think that guy was good for a couple of years. You know who I'm talking about. Played for Clemson. Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that Strider
Strider
for the pitcher for the Braves was a Clemson guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate that he keeps having injury seasons, but they're saying he's healthy this year, so we'll see.
All right, Syracuse 17, Florida State 12. Florida State got a 17-14 record. Syracuse got a 13-18 record. 9 minutes to go in the first half.
Common theme with those teams. They both got killed by Clemson.
They both got killed by Clemson.
I was happy that we kind of had our way with Virginia Tech. Like, it wasn't something that I was like,
it wasn't a pretty game.
Worried about, that Boston College game had me worried, but Virginia Tech, man, they just kind of took it and held on to it and never really let it back.
Well, 2 games we should have lost: Georgia Tech game and the Carolina game, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. What is the actual? I know that after all the tournaments are done, which will be Saturday, right? ACC, SEC will all be done by Saturday night, right? Then they do the pick for the March Madness, and then automatically starts that week. So we're looking at what? Next week around Wednesday or Thursday they start March Madness. I mean the NCAA tournament.
Any chance of last seed beating a number 1 seed this year?
Do what now?
I said, do you think there's any chance of a last seed beating a number 1 seed again this year?
I'd like to see it. That's why I love March Madness. I mean, there's been some great upsets over the years.
Was that last year, or was that the year before
that the last seed beat the first seed for the first time in history?
I think it was 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
No, who was it? I remember I saw the game.
It was like UNC, Kentucky, or somebody like that lost to a
Kentucky lost to somebody. I think it was. It was Kentucky, and I think they're ranked number 1.
Yeah, it was like the first time in like history that a number 1 seed lost to a last seed.
Yeah, you love to see, unless it's your team, you love to see stuff like that. Well, I
And
love
then
Wofford.
I think that team went on to win the next level, but then did not make it past that.
Well, I remember, I think it was 14 or 15 Wofford, 15, I think. Wofford, right up the road here went to Sweet 16. They're going crazy around here about that.
Yeah.
I mean, the greatest run hours in any sports, football, baseball, basketball, whatever. The greatest, and I'll argue with anybody about this, was the NC State 1981 team where they were just terrible. And then that Jim Balbano came down, he got cancer. Remember that? And there's no way in heck they weren't even going to the NCAA tournament. Somehow made a run in the ACC tournament and won it and beat Michael Jordan, Sam Perkins, that team with Dean Smith. Ended up beating Houston and all these crazy teams and won the freaking. And the crazy thing about it was when he came down from New York, they all made fun of him because he had this accent. First practice, he draws everybody in there with a ladder and has them go up the ladder. And they said, "This man's crazy." He says, "We may not do it this year, but we're going to win a national championship."
Yeah.
He thought it in his mind before it ever happened. 3 or 4 years later, NC State had a national championship. Now they've had one since, but
yeah. I always remember Jimmy V like running around the court.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
with his hands up. And he said in a documentary, he was like, "I was just looking for someone to hug, and no one was there to hug."
It's sad. They died like 5 or 6 months later. But
yeah.
You ever watch 30 for 30? They have a documentary on this. Classic, man. If I ever see that,
well, the ACC Network has a great program that comes on called "We Are Number One." Or we are number one, or something, or we were number one, something like that. And they always have a great story on there.
Yeah, they have a documentary about when Clemson won in '81, and they even got some of the old players like Holman Jordan. They got Danny Force sitting around like a coffee table talking about it. But it ought to be exciting. And then we got spring game coming up. You want to come down after the show and get on camera with us? You can.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm gonna do my best to get there, but
I'm gonna try to get. You talk to Jim guy?
Yes, sir.
What's the date of the spring game again?
Huh?
What's the date of the spring game again?
April 5th, right?
Yeah, the 5th.
And
what time's the show, Josh?
Do what?
What time's the show?
Well, games at 1. I said we did last year about 5, didn't we? Rowdy Tiger.
Say that again.
I told him about 5 o'clock. It lasts about an hour.
Is the game at 2 again?
It's at 1.
It's at 1?
Well, 1 to 2 to 3. We need an hour or so to get out of there.
I probably will not be able to make that spring game. I'm just looking at the schedule for my son's baseball team, and we have a game at 3 o'clock on Saturday the 5th.
Okay. Can't make them all.
Well, I got kind of roped into being the head coach of this team. So if I was an assistant coach, I'd be like, deuces. But being I'm the actual head coach, I kind of probably have to be there.
We had everybody there last year. We did a good show, too. That was one of the better shows we did. We always do them. We do the live shows. We always do them before the game during the regular season because you don't want to do it after the game. And plus, we do game day picks. But it's Clemson playing Clemson, orange and white. Who cares who wins? You just want to see.
I mean, I'm
nobody
hoping
get hurt. You'll see some big guys.
I can watch it at least on TV.
Do what?
I said, hopefully they televise it and I can.
They usually do.
Well, yeah, but this whole teams aren't doing their spring games, this and that.
Yeah, all this tampering, bull crap.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that because of something to do with money.
Yeah. It's all dumb. And that's the sad part is, a lot of people foresaw this coming. The reason why the NCAA has never allowed student athletes to make money. Well, why? Because now look at all the problems that's becoming. Now you got this tampering deal that could be going on. You got, kids that are being contacted by, other coaches from other teams saying, hey, we'll give you all this money if you come play with us, transfer, and it's just, and the NCAA is not doing anything to regulate this, even though they say they're kind of are, but they're really not.
Well, they were before. They were before it was going on. They fined Danny Ford for buying somebody a biscuit at Bojangles one time.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like back then, yeah, but that was just because before the whole NIL thing, no one was allowed to make money, and they could regulate that because that's the rule. You cannot be given money.
Well,
and
like
now,
SMU, they had the Death Wish back in the 80s, the Pony Express.
Right. And like I said, now you've got all this,
Eric Dickerson,
behind the scenes tampering of, being accused of tampering. Like the sign stealing thing, that's really not even that big of a scandal because every team steals signs, period.
Yeah. Well,
it's the fashion that it was the manner and fashion that Michigan did it in that is the problem, but everybody steals signs.
Yeah.
And now, like I said, that is not even that big of a deal when you've got coaches, assistant coaches, boosters contacting kids from other schools, enticing them to come, I'll 100% believe that Makuba left because of that. Not because of what he says the reason why he left, that he felt like he wasn't getting developed to be at the next level. He wholeheartedly left for money.
Yeah. There's one guy.
Playing time. You can't say it was playing time because he was playing every game.
Even worse than recruiting. We lost our whole class this past one, half of it, just off of tampering. Guys, decommitting the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
4 and 5 stars.
Yeah.
Well, somebody came out top.
Unfortunately,
one guy we know that won.
Clemson has too much pride and integrity to get down in the mud with these other schools. Dabo, he refuses to be like that. And I applaud him for it. At the same time, our team could potentially suffer for losing all these high recruits to other schools.
Yeah. Well, at least he's using the transfer portable. Recruiting's looking good.
I mean, I always said that he never really was against it. He just said there was never anybody in there that fit what they wanted or what they needed.
Yeah.
Position wise, yeah. But again, the only guys that are in the portal are guys that want more money or more playing time.
College football's forever changed.
And Dabo Swinney won't guarantee you playing time. He tells you straight up, you're not guaranteed to be the starter. You have to come in and fight for it.
Yeah. You're Sammy Brown. You're ETN. You're Trevor Lawrence. He didn't start. I was watching. I said, my God. It had Kelly Bryant. I'm like, finally they put him in.
Vizina could literally beat Cade Klubnik in the summer practices. Vizina. He could literally beat Cade Klubnik in summer practices to become starter if he worked hard enough and just outplayed him.
I don't think he's as good, but
I mean, is that going to happen? Probably not. But I'm saying that is a possibility that Dabo tells everybody.
Cade's going to take us to the national championship. Matt Luke, what he's done with the offensive line, I think we got a good. Everything's just coming together.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that was missing is coming together in the offseason.
Absolutely.
It all started with Tom Allen, and then Matt Luke has done a hell of a job, man, of getting the right guys. Because I know we don't talk about it enough, but man, that offensive line, it ain't sexy, but it means a lot. And if you ain't got a good offensive line, you're gonna have some problems. Because they see the 70-yard touchdown, they just 50-yard run, they'll see the blocks that give them the time to get in position to score that touchdown. And I think this is the most underrespected position in football.
Right now, the offensive line coach is in the process of trying to get a 4-star Texas OT.
Yeah, Zayden Crimpton.
Yeah, they gave him an offer.
And I just read that today at TigerNet. And he's got LSU. I think he's going to a couple of places, but it sounds like he's going to go to Clemson. And Matt Luke, he's got the right coaches, man. Matt Luke's got that personality where he gets along and communicates with his players. And you got Ben Boulware in there, and we got Tom Allen on defense. So we got a lot going on.
That's another thing. We can still grab the elite coaches and bring them to Clemson.
Oh, and
we had some question marks there because, we did the Brandon Streeter hire, then the Wes Goodwin hire, all within, and it just blew up all in a matter of instant. But we
wide receiver university is back. I mean, it's back. Yep. We got it. We even picked up a couple of good recruits on the receiving end. So, anyhow, we try to keep it under an hour. We won't go too long. I could talk all night, but people usually lose their attention.
Hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Exciting things coming. We're
welcome,
still putting together the golf tournament on May 25th. Am I correct? May 25th.
Yeah, let's get a conference call with you, and there's a lot involved, man.
Still getting that together. More details to come, but please mark your calendars for May 25th for the first inaugural I Bleed Orange charity golf.
11:04 tee time. I don't know why they only do tee times. It's some weird, not 11, but 11:04. It's gonna be
it'll probably be a shotgun start.
Probably. I mean, realistically, I think
that's the only way you can. You have to do shotgun start. That's the only way you can get everybody in and playing, like every team available or to finish in time.
Yeah.
So
anyways, it's going for a good cause. We're probably going to give away a free car if somebody's in a hole in one. I gotta work that out with one of the sponsors, one of the car dealerships. Goodie bags. We're going to have catering food in. Hopefully, it won't be as hot as the orange and white, but it will be in May. It'll be a good time. I mean, I realistically, man, 25 to 45, I'm happy with the first rollout, and then next year we'll get up to 125. First year we tried this. Got to start somewhere. Got to jump into the water.
Well, we hope to be able to get it from being in May to being more in April.
Yeah, next year's gonna be April, but I needed more time to. I mean, absolutely. You saw that sheet I sent you. It's like a school syllabus. There's a lot involved. But me, you, and Randy, you met all of them at the last one. We need to get together and talk about. Start selling. People get in, and we'll be able to go on the link and be able to click on there and sign up on the website.
We're looking for teams, looking for sponsors, and huge shout out to all the sponsors that are already involved with I Bleed Orange. Today's show is being put on by the Industrial of Greenville and Vapor Nation.
Dude, this guy, man, I don't even have to sell him. I just walk in every March. He goes, I bleed orange. He goes, let me get you a check. I said, you get first game. I mean, he loves us. He gets the first game every year. Industrial Incorporated, congratulations. Welcome aboard. We're going to do all we can to get your name out there and blow your business up and get you as many people as we can, customers and clients. And we're looking forward to doing that show. I sent the IT guy the stuff over today. Should be up and running where you can click on and see them on our website by tomorrow.
So a lot of good things coming, as Dabo likes to say, the best is yet to come. There's going to be more things going to be happening with this show alone. We got some things in the works, things coming, bringing on Jacob, our statistician.
Right.
Is that how you say it? Our statistician, AKA might be technically the new producer of the show.
So that's an actual job and a title. A brachologist, that's something they just made up.
Yeah.
You heard of that with March Rules around the brachologist. Like, what'd you go to school for? I'm a brachologist. It's like that's made up March Madness. They have no clue who's going to win.
So big things happening. Best is yet to come. This show we're gonna get this show making it better and only getting better every week. So
numbers keep going up as they should. Best is yet to come.
As they all say, go Tigers.
Go Tigers. All right.
Go Tigers.
In it.